I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Reiko Macchiato. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, my name is Reiko Macchiato. I'm a variety streamer. I am a Tibetan fox that runs a cafe called the Cappuccino Cafe.
Yes, and you've got a few different places you're on now, right?
I actually have a few locations. One of them is the Cappuccino Tavern, which was recently another location. But other than that, we're planning to open other things, other venues.
How long have you been VTubing?
I have VTubed for about VTubed. I would say I've been VTubing for about 3 years now.
Yeah. So what was the thing that got you most interested in doing it?
I was actually watching a VTuber from HoloLive. Her name was Korone Inugami, and she was playing like this. She was playing a game called Super Mario Brothers, but she was doing a challenge where I believe she wasn't allowed to speak any Japanese. So she was able to use Google Translate and only speak English until she messed up and said something in Japanese that caused her to end the stream, which made me wonder, like, maybe I could do something like this. And that's when I started streaming as a VTuber.
Yeah, just some of those folks in HoloLive are really hilarious, even if I don't understand the language. And they just have personalities bigger than life in some instances. Did you have any trouble getting the microphone on for yourself? Were you a little nervous starting out?
It wasn't the nervousness that got me. I would say it's more like, what can I do? Like, what kind of games should I be playing? Or like certain things that makes me indecisive during like my earlier years of VTubing. I think I wanted to know if I could last long in this like content creation. More or less, I was initially a bit nervous about that. I don't think like speaking was the problem. It was more like, what games am I able to play and have a conversation with someone while being able to be a good entertainer or content creator.
Yeah, I don't think people think about that sometimes when they watch VTubers. And if you have a game where you really need to be immersed in it, where you have to concentrate a lot and you're taking the game seriously, it's really tough to try to get anybody else involved in that.
Yes, I completely agree. I think I've played games that were like that. For example, I played like first person games. I played obviously I'm a variety streamer, so I tried a whole variety of games. But before even becoming a variety streamer, I was solely just a Monster Hunter streamer.
Oh, well, I mean, that'll get you a lot of stream there. There's a lot of people who are really into the Monster Hunter games and enjoy that sort of thing. Is that a game that you play off stream as well?
I did play a lot of it off stream right before I became a variety streamer.
Yeah.
What I actually did to get to Twitch partner was I started off with Monster Hunter World. Now, this was before Monster Hunter Wilds was coming out. I think there was like trailers about Monster Hunter Wilds and everybody being excited about it. You know, the whole hype.
Right.
You know, the initial trailers and everything, the teaser trailers. I was actually playing Monster Hunter World at that time, and it seemed like it gained traction.
Mm,
Um, I was doing challenges to keep myself immersed within the Monster Hunter culture.
right.
So I kept hunting, doing challenges, soloing stuff. Eventually, I moved on to another game. I believe it was Monster Hunter Rise, though it wasn't as what I had liked in the Monster Hunter world.
Hmm.
It was very different, um, and it, needless to say, it is still a fun game. It just wasn't as I had expected,
Yeah.
though it still brought views.
Right.
During the time, everything was still being hyped.
Right.
I had a lot of views.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that change, what was the big difference between one game and the next?
The difference was definitely the aesthetic. I think Monster Hunter World felt a bit more detailed and realistic,
Mm.
whereas Monster Hunter Rise was catered to the Switch, and it was during that time it was a little bit more optimized when it
Mm.
comes to just the gameplay itself.
Kind of, kind of an arcade type feel more than any other game.
Yes, it feels a bit more faster.
Mm.
It's not as like you don't feel the weapon weight, for example.
Ah.
Everything just feels light and fast and very quick. Monster Hunter World was more, you will feel the great sword, how heavy it is when you swing it,
Yeah.
how heavy your lance is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that,
And those weapons are not small.
no, no, they're not. But Monster Hunter Rise made it seem small.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that takes a little bit of the if you got a big old sword like that, you want to be able to kind of at least have the feeling that you're swinging a big sword, not just waving a toothpick around. Um,
Yes.
I mean, if you're carrying that big, first of all, I never understand how they can actually carry them in the first place. But um, when I haven't played it, but I've watched a lot of people play those games. Um, they look like a lot of fun, but also frustrating. Um, if you have the pattern right, you get somebody in, then they take off and head somewhere else. Like, hey, wait, you're supposed to stay in there with me, and they have to chase after them and do that sort of thing. But I guess that's what kind of makes it different than other games, kind of like that, isn't it?
I would agree. I think it does come down to like, oh, a monster in the end. I mean, it seems like it's just some sort of animal that we're trying to hunt, it seems,
Mm.
and we're trying to track it down. And of course, if an animal retreats or is wounded, they would most likely run away.
Right.
And I think that's the case for the monsters in Monster Hunter. Of course, they get weakened after, attacking you initially or whatever,
Hmm.
or you seem to be like a threat to them.
Right.
So they seem to more or less go to the offensive. But
Mm.
once they start getting weakened, yes, they will start backing out. They will start flying away, and it's your job to just track them down and make sure that you either capture them or slay them.
Yeah. And sometimes other monsters get involved that you don't want getting involved.
Yes, that is unfortunate, but it does happen. You get territorial wars. You get just one monster just pummeling the other, like with just pure domination. I've seen those.
Yeah.
Definitely seen those.
You try to get in and get the scraps.
Yeah, like sometimes the monster throws it at me.
Yeah. Like, hey, no, here, take this. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm just watching and they throw it at me, and I was like, "What just happened?"
yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense, more sense that way than it would be with. I mean, let's think about it. You go into a a regular RPG type game, and you have uh, three of this type of a monster and two of this type of monster and one of another type of monster. They're all together trying to fight you. Why? They wouldn't normally team up to do that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, it does give it a little bit more realistic is not the right word, but realistic-ish. I'll
Yes,
make that
it
one up.
gives it that like a realistic aesthetic
Yes,
feeling to it.
yeah. The physics make a little more sense with that sort of
Yes.
thing. And the um, so when you got into the newer game, or did you get into the newer game after the original hype?
I did. I actually did play Monster Hunter Wilds, and I played a bit more end game content.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it's difficult to gauge the finer details and the quality of the game itself. I think it's because I feel like the game is catered to newer hunters
Mm-hmm.
rather than the veteran hunters in a way. Um, I believe it's because everything seems a lot easier than it was before.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's more like the realistic of Monster Hunter World, but the quick and I would say easy feeling that you would get from Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't want the game to be too easy, right? I mean, you want some challenge to it.
Yes, which is why they brought some quests that seemed rather difficult for a lot of hunters initially, but you get used to it. Just like every other hunt, the more you hunt, the more experience, which makes it easier to clear the quest better.
Yeah, yeah, and all of that, being able to tie the games together enough to keep people interested in it is is the biggest key for any type of franchise like that. Because I mean, I used to play a game, um, Might and Magic, just the regular Might and Magic,
Hmm.
not Heroes of Might and Magic, but Might and Magic, and I played 1 through 9, and I enjoyed 1 through 8.
Mm.
Number 9 was completely different and sold terribly and was almost unplayable. And
Mm.
deviated so much from the other ones that there wasn't any real connection to him, and that really caused some issues for me. If you can keep the older diehards involved in it and bring in the new people at the same time, then you've done a masterstroke. Otherwise, you just detonated your franchise, and then it's tough to come back from something like that, I imagine. But so when you were decided to move on to other games on your streams, which games did you go to first?
Also the path to partner, and it wasn't just Monster Hunter.
Hmm.
Um, I was told to create content other than Monster Hunter.
Mm,
So I stepped out of my comfort zone
yeah.
and actually tried Warframe.
Okay.
Warframe was at the time it has a great community. I believe Warframe is a very helpful community similar to Monster Hunter,
Mm,
where people just help me out, get
yeah.
tips, and learning how to be a better, I would say, shooter, because I'm not very good at shooting. I would say I've gone past the age where my hands are not that great, but
Oh, yeah.
um,
I can go along with that one. I can tell you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that Warframe has a very loving community, a very friendly community. Um, that growth from beginning all the way towards their newest content allowed me to just push through and get through partner from there.
Wow. Well, that's good. Yeah, and it sounds like you picked a couple of perfect games to go with too. Um, and you had the would a game with a more toxic community been rougher for you to deal with?
Um, there are a couple games that, and this was after Twitch partner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there were a couple games that were showing a complete different side of me. I would say one of them was Tekken. I tried Tekken 8. Um, Bandai Namco had this mentorship program that allowed people to just bring together, teach each other how to play. And when I was playing ranked, I've definitely felt a bit more toxic, and it wasn't something I adored. I think it's because I didn't want to see I didn't want anyone to see this kind of side of me.
Mm-hmm.
It changes the way I express myself towards the stream. I
Yeah.
mean, another example of this is me trying League of Legends. I think it gets everybody.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like it changed. You're a completely different person.
Yeah.
I'm more of like comforting, chill.
Mm-hmm.
At times I can get chaotic, but it's more of a chill, positive vibes, wholesome.
Yeah.
I don't really like. I try not to swear or whatever.
Yeah.
But League and Tekken 8 causes me that opposite effect, which is something I don't want. So when I told and I expressed it to the community, I said, "Hey, after this match at Tekken, I was like, I can't, I can't go anymore. I think it's because I need to stay consistent as I am as a, positive, wholesome streamer that just wants to bring out the energy and life to everybody around me."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's so
and
the pool is enticing, isn't it? Just go in there and start slinging
yeah,
with everybody.
yeah. I mean, it does bring a competitive side of me, which don't get me wrong, competition is great. It allows you to see where you are at with other people. You're able to just use that drive to keep going and go further
Mm-hmm.
where you want in your goals for that specific game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not for me. I definitely I see that it's not for me.
Well, from when I've heard you and just through talking with you here, you sound like a person who enjoys uh, who enjoys a good time but likes the calm part of it too.
Yeah, I would say, well, actually, it's weird. I actually don't like farming games. As cozy as it may sound, I tried Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did do Terraria before,
Right.
but I don't think Terraria is a very calming game.
It
It
doesn't
seems
seem like
like
it to
it's calm
me.
from the surface.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It seems calm from the surface.
yeah. I watch people play it, and I'm like, boy, this looks like fun, and then like, man, this looks really, really irritating.
Yeah, it seems I don't know. From the surface it was like, okay, this could be cool. And then you step on traps, you fall down like a really big, you know, you fall from a really big height,
Yeah.
and you're like wondering, how did I get here?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought this was supposed to be a calm game.
Yes.
But
It-
obviously it wasn't, which is great for me because I was able to, continue playing all the way through.
yeah.
Minecraft, on the other hand, was like, this is too calm for me. I think I need a bit of like surprise, I guess. I don't know.
Gonna go. See, I can't play Minecraft because my grandson has a Minecraft sandbox he's in, and
Mm.
I went in there and took a look around because I didn't know how to play Minecraft at all. And the only thing I could do was basically punch his sheep to death, and he didn't like that. He's like, "Papa, you can't play anymore." So I pushed one of his cows into the water and left. As I said, you little young whippersnapper, I'll do what I want. um, so when when you started moving to other games, did it take a while for you to be comfortable doing that after playing the Monster Hunter games for so long?
Controls are different.
Mm.
I would say controls are very different when it comes to playing other games.
Mhm.
Switching between like Monster Hunter to a completely different game, for example, Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I do get confused every now and then, but muscle memory still kicks in, and as long as you have that muscle memory, I believe you're able to just jump back into the game whenever you want. But it does take a bit. I would say like, oh yeah, this button again. Oh, okay, this is what it does.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue that I'm having currently when I'm playing two different games. For example, Grand Blue Fantasy. Relink is kind of similar to Monster Hunter in a way.
Yeah.
But when you switch that with a game called like Beast of Reincarnation, it's two completely different controls. Beast of Reincarnation is a bit more like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, where you're using the right button or the right trigger, or in this case, whatever button that you use. Some people use keyboard, which I'm very surprised, but
there's more buttons.
At the same time, yeah. At the same time, it's more like whatever is your button map inputs. I don't adjust mine. I don't know about you, but I do not adjust mine. I just keep it at default. So I'm like used to it.
Yeah, I have to switch mine because I'm kind of switch-handed. I write left-handed, but do a lot of other things right-handed. Like when I played softball and baseball, I batted left-handed. When I golfed, it was right-handed. So it was all over the place. And when I was playing Stardew Valley, there's a sequence. I would always remap the keys from moving to the arrow keys, which I think makes more sense because they're arrows. And the WASD always throws me off. But there's a place where you have to use the WASD keys and the arrows. So I would literally have to put my right hand on the left side and my left hand on the right side in order to do it correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, and my brain hurt trying to do that. And the same thing happens. Although with regular controllers, it's not too bad. I just get used to them after a while. But there's muscle memory and then there's muscle ancient memory. At this age, I was like, I used to be able to do that combination, and my fingers don't work like that anymore. So I mean, there are some games now that are out that are just not going to be for me, like the Marvel Rivals game. Looks like people are having fun with it. I can't even see what's going on. Do you ever get into any of those games, like on a co-op or something?
Oh, like MOBA, like Marvel Rivals, or more like a repo kind of
either way
feeling. I mean, for starters, I believe I tried Marvel Rivals. The problem that I had with Marvel Rivals was that it was, and I will say this: I used to play a lot of Overwatch. Overwatch 1, in fact. I played for a bunch of seasons. I was a one-trick Genji. I know there's going to be some people saying like, oh, you're crazy. You're Genji one-trick. What? Like, why? I got tired of it. Actually, I started burning out. I was playing too much. I climbed up the ranks. It was great being in Diamond or whatever.
Right.
But it's tough playing by yourself.
Right.
I would say. Because when you're in solo queue, again, similar to League of Legends, you don't have anybody to just kind of like just hang out with or chat with while you're playing
Right.
together kind
Yeah.
of feeling. Marvel Rivals, I mean, I played with my community, yes, but it gave me that similar burnout feeling that I had from Overwatch, where I was like, I don't know if I want to continue doing this content.
Yeah.
It at the time before it like blew up even more, I was playing it and I was like, do I want to make, and sometimes you got to ask yourself, like, do I want to make a community out of this, or do I just let it go?
Yeah.
Because um it's tough, because again, most of my community members are Monster Hunter. And
Right.
you go from Monster Hunter to something like Marvel Rivals, it's like, whoa, what the heck? That's two completely different things.
Yeah. You're
And yes,
going from fourth gear to reverse there. Uh,
yeah.
uh, it does make a difference, and I'm not sure that a lot of people would have thought that far with it. As far as audience goes, have you always been something that kind of plans a little bit ahead for that sort of thing?
I do. I tend to always figure out what I can bring to the table for
Mm-hmm.
my community.
Mm-hmm.
I always try to create said challenges. Like, oh, what can I do for this one? What can I do to extend this the longevity for this game? Um, I know I started redoing my community days where I'm able to spend time with my community once again.
Mm-hmm.
I think I always plan things out. I give them like some sort of poll, like, "Hey, what do you guys want to see me play next?" Or what kind of community game you guys want to do today? This case, we'll be playing Shift at Midnight, which is supposedly scary, but I don't know. The
Yeah.
way the graphics look, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to surprise me with some sound or something like that, like Resident Evil One kind of,
Yeah.
jump scare. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But do you like doing the jump scare stuff, or would you rather play a horror game that had the long con?
Hmm. Um, it's funny because I did try a game that was like short.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Exit 8.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was actually pretty intense, I would say, but I enjoyed the shorter ones.
Mm.
The longer ones, I'd say, for example, like a long one would be like Visage or something.
Right.
I get constantly like spooked. I was like, I don't know if I want to continue doing this, but I think the shorter ones like definitely seems more worth it for me
Mm.
than the longer term ones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one thing I would get with I would probably myself play the longer term ones because jump scares after a while just irritate me. I'm an old man. I can't afford to be irritated too much. Um, but the knowing that that you can deal with this because the end is coming eventually. there
Yes,
there is
yes,
there is an appeal to that.
yes.
Um, and well, with a game like that, with this a little shorter, do you think it has replayability?
Um, if you put your mind to certain games, I say that you can make it to a replayability. For
Mm-hmm.
example, something like let's say for example Exit 8, like we discussed Exit 8, right?
Right.
We can just see what happens when you just try to speed run it. Like I've seen people that speed run it within less than, was it less than a minute? I don't even remember, but there's a world record on Exit 8 that's less than 5 minutes for sure.
Jeez.
They just had a good RNG. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's what most speedrun uh, is about. Like, you got to have some good RNG to be able to have a good clear on it.
Mm-hmm. And have you
And
done
it
speed running
does.
before?
Yes, I actually have done a. I don't know if I still hold the record,
Oh.
but I have done a Fatalis solo all weapons challenge. So no like a small break in between, but just like continuously go solo Fatalis, which is the very end game for Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
Mm-hmm.
Very notorious for making a lot of hunters lose in their quests.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, even for me. But you can you imagine like all the weapons that you know have learned, all the knowledge that you have gained, and just solo the monster with every weapon.
It's
The
a
matchups can be difficult. I would say like one of them is like the heavy bowgun, which seems really strong at first, but with a monster that has giant flamethrower cones that will barbecue you,
yeah.
and you got your only chance of dodging is just this fat roll that you get from like Dark Souls 1.
Yes. And
So,
when you think about it, and people just equip and fire crossbows in games. The actual If anybody's ever actually seen a crossbow, um, some of those takes forever to load.
yes, reloading definitely
it, it,
takes a toll.
it doesn't just pow pow pow. It is like, okay, shot, okay, set down, reload, pull back. It's like, it's nice to have cannons, but somebody's got to put the cannonball in.
Right, right.
Yeah, it does add that little bit of a little more realistic to it. The Once you got started and rolling, did it take a little while for you to build up an audience?
Initially when I was doing Monster Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
um, it did take a little bit, but I would say the order that I played was Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Next World.
Right.
Monster Hunter World Next. So the feeling that I got from Monster Hunter Rise at that time, it was a smaller community. Um, Everybody was just helping each other out, and I would say I was averaging around like maybe 5 to 10. Everybody seemed very loving, friendly,
Mm-hmm.
and helpful.
Right.
I feel like Monster Hunter in general seems very helpful, a bit too helpful, but more or less they help a lot of content creators get through
Yeah.
some of the most difficult, quests.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was difficult to gain viewers first.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's very difficult at first, but consistently doing so will build that said viewership. And then from Rise, they wanted to see me get my reactions and experiences through Monster Hunter World.
Right.
So when that clicked, I was like, okay, they want to see me get reacted to like this pink dinosaur that's about to bite me or something.
Yes.
Like I was actually scared because initially, because the monsters there, yes, they seem realistic, and at the same time, the way the camera's viewed.
Oh.
Now, Monster Hunter Rise, yes, you have the camera or whatever, but the monsters don't seem that big.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go to Monster Hunter World where it seems realistic, yeah, yeah, actual size. Okay, well that's gonna get you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing too. You're furtively chopping at their toe while while they're
Yeah, you're trying to figure out where to attack this thing. It's like,
yeah,
what the like? What's this weakness?
kick them in the shins and stuff. Come on, go down. Um,
Yeah.
that type of audience growth, though, the more organic type of growth, um, it seems to me that's a more long-lasting growth.
Yes. I would say that it is very long lasting.
Mm,
I would also say that Monster Hunter communities are often shared.
mm,
The thing is, when I networked with a lot of the Monster Hunter content creators,
mm.
it seems that everybody has nearly the same usernames that I see when it comes to hunting. I think it's more or less everybody wants to help, or they just want to spend time with their, with their favorite streamer, content creator, or whatever that plays Monster Hunter at the time.
Yeah.
So you'll most likely see people of the same name.
Mm. Yeah. But yet that return of people has got to feel pretty good because these are people who are taking time out because they know it's you doing the game.
Yes. I definitely created a lot of friendships with my community members. I think they definitely, I'm very grateful for them because they take their time, they come in and join the hunt and are able to help me out when I was a wee beginner little hunter. And now, where I'm able to just become a veteran,
Mhm.
I'm able to, in return, help them out fight, some of the most harder difficulty
Yeah.
monsters, where they seem to have trouble with, and then, return the favor in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And that sort of interactivity is something that not all VTubers are able to do with their communities. Um, and I know that because of the game that you're playing, it does kind of lend itself to that a little bit. But it's also the personality. Uh, some folks don't want other people's input, and 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 will be there as entertainment. Other people they can't do anything with other people because they're as bad at games as I am. But the it sounds like you've got a pretty good balance of that right now.
I've had dealt with others that seem to give a certain feedback, whether it was positive, whether it was negative.
Mm-hmm.
I am open minded. I would say for the most part, when it comes to criticism, it's like, okay, I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time where I do had to put my foot down.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like, hey, I get it. Like, I'm not very good at this. I will get better as time comes.
Yes.
Honestly, just um, you don't need to give me that much feedback. I will learn the hard way. Some of us like to learn the hard way, just
Yes.
like when we're playing games like Dark Souls. Yes, it
Yeah.
will take some time, but we will eventually beat that boss.
Yes. Yes.
um,
Even if we
takes
cheat, we will
practice.
beat that boss.
Yes, eventually.
Yes.
For the 500th try, we will.
Yes. Well, it certainly gives you guaranteed content.
Yes, yes, indeed.
That's going to be
It
try
does.
number 95 of beating this particular boss. So, is there a game that you have right now that you play off stream that's your comfort game that you wouldn't play on stream but you enjoy?
There were a lot of games.
Mm.
Actually, there are a lot of games that I do play, but right now, um, I just finished Grand Blue Fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink,
Mm-hmm.
because they had an expansion recently. It's like a DLC.
Right.
I believe it was Endless Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I put a lot of hours into that. I even had a point where I set up some sort of AFK farming method. Um, while I was at work, I just like turn it on. And I was like, come back. I was like, oh, okay, it's done. And I'll just like, call it a day or whatever. But
adding the clicker strategy to it.
yeah, a little bit of an idle
Yes.
strategy, if you will.
Yeah.
But it is often needed, I think, if I'm at the end game or late game content.
Mhm.
You need certain things to be able to progress.
Mm.
And I was like, well, I'm working. I don't have time. Let me just put this. And then that's it.
Have you started a game on stream and then a little bit into it realized that you really don't like the game at all? Oh, yeah.
I don't. I
You're not going to admit to it, are you?
I definitely will admit to it because, well, I would say it's not that I heavily criticize the game.
Yeah.
Um, it is more or less that I stopped enjoying it.
Mm.
I think there is this game that came like within release. It was called Dragon's Dogma 2.
Mm.
Now, there's a lot of fans in that played Dragon's Dogma 1 with the DLC content, and everybody enjoyed the DLC content and the base game of the first one. Now, when Capcom released Dragon's Dogma 2, I was, hyping it up. I was excited. I, it seemed like I can play this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me tell you a story about why I stopped playing this. I imagine this, you're in a quest, right?
Uh-huh.
You go into a quest. This sword needs to be repaired.
Right.
It's this great sword that looks like it was passed down from like a lineage. It seems like it could be yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could probably get it as like a prize or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you as the adventurer go all the way from one region to the next dangerous region, and I'm prepared. I'm always like prepared. I get all my food in check and everything. We head out. Along the way, you fight an ogre,
Mm-hmm.
a griffin, a giant troll,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, well, we're a bit beat up, but you know what? Let's go rest for a bit, and we're fine.
Right.
We make our way to that said location, and then guess what? The lady that we brought with us said, well, we need to go to the very basement of this so-called ancient ruins.
Oh.
Okay. So we fight more monsters. We
Right.
fight some slimes. We fight whatever, harpies. You
Right.
know it. We
Right.
go down, and then all of a sudden she says, well, we're going to have to go back up so that way it doesn't, it needs to be not cooled down because we put the fire in or whatever.
Yeah.
We got to make sure this weapon is tempered very well.
Ah.
So we make our way to the top, and something called a Dulahan appears. Now it's I was shocked because I did not see this coming.
Right.
I was not prepared for this. Obviously, we had to fight tooth and nail to get it done.
Right.
Unfortunately, during the battle with the Dulahan, we had to start over.
Oh.
Because the weapon was too cold.
Oh.
So
no.
now we have to go back downstairs. And I was like, okay. You know what we're gonna do? Let's actually fight the Dulahan first before activating her silly thingy or whatever.
Right.
Her silly interaction.
Right.
All right. So we go back up, fight the Dulahan, and after all that, it's done. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
So we got the weapon tempered, all right?
Right.
After all of that fighting, we turn into quest 18k gold. That was the reward.
Yeah.
18k gold. I was expecting the great sword to be mine.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I only got money.
Oh.
And that made me a very sad bean.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, well, I fought all of this just for 18,000 gold. I don't think that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm opting out. So I had to tell my chat, it's like, chat, would you feel the same way too as I am? Like, would you,
Yeah.
after fighting all of that,
Yeah.
would you ever just not play?
Yeah. And they probably said yes. They would not play.
What would your thoughts be? Like, after like hearing what I said about that.
Oh, I would immediately shut it off. I would be that. Okay, that's it. I'm done. That was too much work for almost nothing. Okay.
I can understand Skyrim sometimes, okay? Because
Yeah.
Skyrim is Skyrim, like it
Right.
was a great game, whatever. They had some funny quests.
Yeah.
But, I would say it was worth like going in there, delving into the dungeons or whatever, because you get some nice loot or whatever.
Right.
Dragon's Dogma doesn't really have that much said loot per se.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, you get materials, you get money, you use that said money to get like brand new gear.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah,
Like, I thought you
yeah,
would get a weapon. What is this? I got
yeah.
scammed.
I mean, really, that's kind of bare bones, isn't it? I mean, one of the big draws of those types of games is getting the loot. I mean, getting something that oh, gee, I've got a ring of ultra protection now, and something like that. I mean, if you're not really getting anything like that, and your rewards are just money you can buy regular stuff with, I mean, what the heck? I mean, that really takes the air out of the whole thing.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, okay, well, I think I'm done with this game. After all of that, I'm not gonna go any further than this.
and and off. That's I'd be just like done. Okay, then delete game.
I definitely did uninstall that game. I I I was happy at the initial thought, the hype was there, and then it was like, well, after doing all this side quests, I got just money that I already have more than enough to be able to buy something,
Yeah,
like I'm getting chump change at that point.
yeah, yeah. And for all that work, you did got just that. That's not good. That's not good. With we're over halfway through. In fact, we're almost 2/3 of the way through the year now. Um, are there any goals you have yet to do this year that you've been looking for?
I was very happy that I hit Twitch partner,
Mm-hmm. Well, you should
but
be.
the problem with that is being able to just switch from this Monster Hunter Warframe like streamer into a variety streamer. I think that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I want to I'm rebuilding the community essentially.
Mm.
It's because, like, obviously when you get away from a game that isn't Monster Hunter, you lose a lot of like viewership,
Mm-hmm.
and Warframe as well. You
Mm-hmm.
lose a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the community expects you to play Monster Hunter or play Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I, of course, didn't really want to become a people pleaser type person. I wanted to just be comfortable and whatever game that I play, and people will be there for me. And of
Right.
course, I still have those key community members.
Right.
They're there for me,
Right.
regardless of the game that I play.
Yeah.
Even though I lost like a numerous amount of viewers, I think being able to just be comfortable at the game that you're playing and not be burned out again by Monster Hunter or Warframe at some point. Um, I don't think I told you this, but I actually did get burned out at Warframe.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after playing the newest content, I was so burned out. I was like, I don't think I can continue playing Warframe.
Oh.
And that's when I did lose, a bit of viewers, but I was still happy enough that I was not able to stream Warframe anymore because it was just too much for me.
Yeah. And when you start losing interest in a game, or it's just not clicking, the audience will know right away.
Right.
Yeah.
And you will have those people come and go. Obviously, the ones that stay are the ones that are there for me regardless of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they'll stick with it, but they're the ones that'll know first when you don't like the game.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
They go,
That
oh,
that they'll know.
yeah. It says Reiko's having a pretty bad day. And
It's like, what's that look for?
come on the show swearing like a golfer. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, this has it been all you wanted it to be streaming, or are there some things you're really you think you've missed out on in the first couple of years?
Mm. Um, there was a lot of things that if I was to say to past version of myself, I would say it.
Hmm.
I would say that, hey, you should just play Monster Hunter, your still comforted game,
Hmm.
while playing a game similar to it.
Hmm.
Um, there was games that did click. For example, Grand Blue Fantasy. Very similar type
Yeah.
of gameplay. Um, I just happened to fell off because of Monster Hunter Wilds just not living up to its expectations.
Yeah.
At least for a majority of people saying so.
Hmm.
I did enjoy it, but it wasn't the same as how I played Monster Hunter World.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Um,
And that's what game makers always have to deal with, and that's why I think you're getting more expansion packs on games that are already out, rather than changing the whole engine for another game. Um,
mm,
they want more of the same, not something different.
yeah,
Well,
I would say like something about just finding that right game that you can play for hours on end.
mm,
If you can have a game that you can just play and talk about all day, then you will have a lot of people who would just enjoy that said content with you because you're being creative on what you want to do with that content.
yeah,
And that's what makes you like, you know, a percent higher than those that are being this, the same thing that they're doing the same thing.
right,
Obviously, Monster Hunter is different, right?
right.
Every quest is different.
Mhm.
Every hunt is going to be a different.
The monsters are
Um,
different. I mean,
I wouldn't say that it's not the same hunt over and over. Your experience per hunt is different.
mm,
Um, I would say for me, I just didn't translate my audience over to Wilds because during the time that it released, not many people was able to one afford it and two be able to play it.
yeah, yeah.
Um
That's a different.
most of their
Yeah,
most of their PCs are more catered to like Monster Hunter World because the graphics was easy.
right.
It's not it seems like it's realistic, it's nice and cool graphics or whatever, but it was easy on the computer.
Yeah,
It was easy on um, said consoles or whatever.
yeah,
But when you have something like Wilds, yeah, you're gonna have those people not being able to play
mm,
because it's everyone's getting those polygon, the polygon memes or whatever.
right.
Others are getting like others are having optimization issues.
Yeah,
Others are just can't play it because it's the requirement is too high.
right. Well, it's like me, and I got Fallout 4, and I haven't played it yet, and I got it like 2 years ago because the computer I was using at the time couldn't run it. I didn't know that. Um, so I bought it. I haven't played it yet. Plus, the computer I was going to play it on is down anyway, so I can use this. But yeah, you got to. I mean, if your computer's going to struggle playing it, and you're going to stream it, and you're still got the one computer, I mean, you're really going to struggle because people don't
Yeah,
realize how much it takes out of your computer to do something like that.
yeah, and not many people kind of see behind the scenes of how much your computer can only take
Hmm.
when it comes to newer released games while streaming it, while you have your VTube Studio on. It's very, very. It makes my computer cry sometimes. I feel bad because it's like, oh, I'm playing. My computer's like hot for some reason, and I
Yeah,
realize like, oh, okay, I'm running like Beast of Reincarnation, which was recently coming out, my OBS and my VTube Studio all on at the same time. That's like CPU overload, you know?
yes, you run the task manager, and it says you're running at the speed of potato.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it it sounds to me like you really you look ahead to most of this stuff and plan things. Give yourself a little wiggle room as you go along. That's gonna in the future. That's gonna make things a lot easier for you.
yes, it does. Though I did had a few hiccups here and there.
Well,
I think just yesterday, I realized that the webcam that I was using,
yeah.
wasn't working anymore. Um,
Oops.
and another thing that happened was, well, first of all, the my iPhone wasn't charging,
Oh,
and I
well,
realized this. Well, it ran out of battery.
right.
Basically, ran out of battery. So I was like, oh, I'm using Live 2D at like 2%. What am I doing with myself? So I switched to webcam.
Yeah.
I switched to webcam, and I was like, okay, it started good. And then I realized the lights were flickering, and I was like, oh well, sorry guys, I have to end the stream. I can't really stream with a flashing light flickering all over my eyes. And
Yes.
not only that, I've realized that I need a new webcam.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah,
put up the technical
I
difficulties screen and walk away.
yeah, yep. I was
Yeah.
like, sorry guys, I think I'll make up for you guys for tomorrow. So the thing was also is the webcam that I got, which was a Razer Kio, by the way.
Hmm.
Um, it just wasn't working the way I expected it, because oh, it's cool. It's got a ring light. You can turn it on and all that stuff, but it didn't perform well to its expectations. So here it was. It's like, okay, I guess I need a new webcam, but honestly, I just needed my iPhone charging.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
That was the only issue I had. I realized that I connected my PC, my iPhone to the PC, and when you put your PC to sleep, it won't charge it.
Right.
So when I turned it back on, it wasn't charged at all.
Right. Right. There's and it varies from computer to computer, of course. But I always, whenever I'm at, I won't plug in my phone to a computer. I'll plug it into an outlet as much as I can because that at least bypasses the computer, and whatever's going on with the computer isn't going to filter whatever energy gets to your phone. Um, and if you can find that, or like the plugin I'm using here has
Mhm.
the giant the giant multi plug I'm using here has a couple of USB ports on it, so that makes
Oh,
it
right.
a lot easier to get that done. Well, folks need to come out and find out what Reiko's got going on. We're going to have the links in the description for this video. It's just it's wonderful being able to meet you and talk with you, Reiko. It seems like you've got everything pretty much set up. You're comfortable as can be, and you've got the future in your own hands.
It's always been a pleasure to have this conversation with you and this interview with you. It's been an honor.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.